The farm has been open for more than a year. It has been an inspiration to the community around it. I'm going to go ahead and go to two members of that community who are going to tell us a little bit about the hard work and perseverance that it takes to keep a project like this strong. And it looks like Prop 19 is going to fail, and by a larger margin than most experts thought. Supporters of Proposition 19 had high hopes on election night. Voters wore shirts that read, "Yes, we cannabis." If passed, marijuana prohibition would end for Californians at least 21 years of age. They would be allowed to possess up to an ounce.
How is it okay for these pharmaceutical companies to give 7 or 8-year-olds Adderall and let them be cracked out in the streets and acting crazy, but yet it's not okay for somebody to smoke a joint?
It will still be illegal to have pot on school grounds, drive impaired, smoke in public, or in the presence of minors. The No on Prop 19 campaign did not have any fancy slogans. They did have a clear message for Californians.
I used to love being high, okay? So I'm not trying to say, hey, you know what, I didn't enjoy being stoned, but you know what, it didn't increase the quality of my life. It didn't help my productivity. It didn't help me stay in school. It didn't help me do anything that meant something for my future, and it destroyed my life.
United States Attorney General Eric Holder's message is his office will continue to vigorously enforce federal law. By 10 p.m., supporters of Proposition 19 started to see recreational marijuana use as just a pipe dream. And it looks like Prop 19 is going to fail, and by a larger margin than most experts thought. Supporters of Prop 19 say they will continue to fight for the recreational use of marijuana. In Hollywood, I'm Rory O'Sullivan for Valley View News. North Hollywood Urban Farms is a 1 1/4 acre oasis of green in a desert of blacktop. LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa visited the farm to see what $200,000 in federal stimulus could grow.
See, they love to get like this, yeah. Woo!
Not just fresh jalapenos.
That one is odd.
You also get more than 30 varieties of fresh produce, including squash, herbs, peppers, root vegetables, and leafy greens. The farm has been open for more than a year. It has been an inspiration to the community around it. I'm going to go ahead and go to two members of that community who are going to tell us a little bit about the hard work and perseverance that it takes to keep a project like this strong.
Well, the way we start this is we start with the bed, and we get a seed that we're going to plant, and we just put them on the bed. After that, you sow them onto the plant, and you water the bed afterwards.
Okay, and can you tell a little bit about what this has meant to you?
This has meant so much to me because it puts a lot of food in a lot of different families. You know, it's all organically grown due to the product, the compost that it contains, and the taste is like so much rich.
The farm is tended to by low to moderate income workers.
And I think there's about 75 people involved with the production of the vegetables on the farmer's end of things. So I think in less than 2 acres, that's 75 people or so. And that's right now it's not like full-time work, but it's very supplemental and works to boost their income.
All the food grown here is pesticide-free and then delivered to a local business each week. The Los Angeles City Council and Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa want the program expanded.
If on 2 plots of land, less than 2 acres, provide for 150 families, imagine what we could do if the city could now find more land, and we're going to be working with them to do that.
They want urban farms to spring up across the city. In North Hollywood, Rory O'Sullivan, Valley View News. These are the last laps for the men's and women's swim team. The athletic department says it will save $300,000 by dropping the men's and women's swim team.
The $300,000 represents coaches' salaries and benefits, operational expenses for the 2 swim teams, and scholarships.
CSUN's affiliation with the Big West Conference meant athletic director Rick Mazzuto had to choose between 5 sports: men's and women's track and field, men's and women's swim, or the volleyball team. The men's volleyball team is ranked 5th in the nation, and track and field is extremely popular on campus, so he decided to cut the men's and women's swim team.
Really, the money that we're trying to save here really isn't that much compared to the budget of the athletic department or the budget of the entire school.
California State University Northridge is facing a $41 million shortfall this fiscal year. The swim team thinks charging to see home games will help.
If we were to charge for home swim meets, the revenue, if we were fortunate, would be in the thousands of dollars, not in the tens of thousands, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands.
The swim team has a rich history, including 23 national championships or conference titles. Mizzouto did fight for swimmers to retain their scholarship. But this swimmer thinks more could have been done.
As well, just try to cut corners, save a couple pennies, stretch some dollars. But I feel like they didn't even try that. So.
With California underwater fiscally, CSUN's swim team is sunk for now. Rory O'Sullivan, Valley View News, Northridge. Southland residents headed to the beach to beat the heat. Venice Boardwalk is one of the largest tourist draws in Southern California. The 1.5-mile strip of cement hosts over 200 vendors, merchants peddling everything from food to skateboards. Kevin Medina, part owner of Venice's skateboarding stuff, says the cool weather hurt business earlier this summer.
It's gotten a little bit warmer, so because it's a lot warmer, people have the need to come down to the water. So they come down, they buy stuff, so it picks up as it gets warmer.
Inland residents did whatever they could to escape the skyrocketing temperatures here in the San Fernando Valley, including go to the beach. Northridge students also look for ways to stay cool.
So I went there, we went to Venice, and the waves, like, you know, the weather, like the breeze.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Economist Ken Chapman says that cool temperatures early this summer hurt business.
And that means all the stuff where they're designing to sort of walk around, all the people who rent the paddle boats, all the people who are the vendors, well, they weren't getting that much because people weren't out walking around all that much.
Shop owners say they hope the rise in temperatures will continue and boost business on the Venice Boardwalk. Rory O'Sullivan, Valley View News. We'll discuss whether or not athletic scholarships help young black males. Mr. Vasquez, do you think that these scholarships and the opportunity to go to college and get a full ride, does that help young black males throughout their life? Or
I think it does.
The year that the Matadors went to the tournament in 2009, 84% of white students from those schools that participated in the tournament went on to graduate, while only 56% of black students graduated. Of course, that's the men's side of the tournament. And Cal State Northridge had the lowest grad rate of any team at only 8%. I mean, can you speak to that a little bit?
It's a reality, and it's something that I know is discussed quite often in the athletic department.
I spoke with both of you about are some of the core principles that athletics teach, because I think we do have to maybe have a more realistic outlook, especially with the youth, but sports teach. I played basketball, and it taught me a lot of things like perseverance, things like that. Mr. Henry?
Definitely. I could never get out of my head. As one coach I had at Roosevelt Park in Los Angeles, and he always like, don't quit, don't quit.
Hello, and welcome to On Point. My name is Rory O'Sullivan. Today, we're going to tackle greed, its place in human nature, and its role in our society. You have one company, Kmart, where the CEO made $23 million over 2 years, where they went through bankruptcy, where he actually laid off 22,000 employees. And then you also had the CEO of Walmart making $17 million. In the same year, his company had a lot of the problems with they were forcing workers to work overtime and things like that.
Right. I would say that if you didn't have a really good chief executive officer, you would have lost even more jobs.
What point does greed start? At what point do you say to someone, you have too much, you're...
Okay, I wouldn't ever say you have too much.
You're romanticizing, it seems to me, very clearly many facets of big business in the United States that have helped to create the collapse that we have.
This is On Point, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in.